hello there. Now I'm going to do my other block pattern, and on this side of the paper I am going to be doing a skirt. Now I have, to start off with, my favourite skirt. Now this is the right length for me. I have no fear of knees actually, which I know is a terrible thing to say. Most people don't like to show their knees, do they, nowadays? So it's the right length. I find it quite practical because of, even when I'm dressed up, I still need to jump over fences and everything else like that, and I don't know, pull small children out of wells sort of thing. No, sorry, that's a terrible thing to say, but I still have to be quite active. So this is sort of a skirt that I'm quite happy to wear, and a skirt that I would love to replicate. So the only problem with this is it's stretchy material. I don't know, it's got some give in it. So I am going to do a drawing of this skirt, and I am going to copy down the length. Now I am not using any hem allowance. What I'm going to do is, with all these block patterns, they are going to have no hem allowance, so that when I transfer them onto either pattern paper or any paper, I can then put my hem allowance on it. So you can see it's a very simple shape, you know, there's nothing wrong with that at all. It is cut to be standard waist, so it's not on a low waist or a high waist, and it's just really comfortable to wear, and I can wear it over leggings, and I can do everything I want to do, and I suppose I could wear it over tights if I wanted to as well. So that's the basic pattern of a skirt for me, for my size. Now I've got my tape measure here. Obviously I would like to have the information of a skirt that is not stretch, so just in case I was going to make something out of non-stretchy fabric. So I need to take the measurement of my waist. Now I'm going to stick with a standard waist. Okay, high waist pencil skirts did come into fashion, but you really had to have quite a nice figure, I thought, to actually wear them. So it didn't take on with me. I am going to take the measurement of my waist, which is the smaller part of my anatomy, and I am going to then fold the information in half so that I can then transfer it onto the paper. So, because this is a quarter, by the way. Yeah, so front, back. Because I was looking at the tape measure there going, but that's so huge! I have got a jumper on, and I am extending my belly because I'm sort of slobbing. So I need a quarter of the width of my waist, and I'm going to transfer that information in a different coloured pen onto this paper. So that's that. Now the information that I need is from the height of my waist to my hips, my widest point. So I need that information, and although I'm using a tape measure, you don't have to use a tape measure. You can just use a piece of paper, you can just use like a bit of string for this, because the numbers aren't relevant, and in a way that's a good thing, but the information is still relevant. So now I'm going to take a measurement of my hips. I'm being so honest with you. There's not a lot of difference between my hips and my waist actually at the minute, but that's why we date these, so that we can then adjust them, because, you know, I have winter weight and I have summer weight. Now I'm going to turn this into 4 again, because that's the measurement I've taken for the first one. And then I'm going to line it up, and I'm going to mark the paper where I make the second mark of how far down I want that information to translate. So, and then I just join the dots. Now I know from the skirt that I wore earlier, that's a comfortable length for me. I wouldn't want it any shorter, that's for sure, and I do want, well, I want that information relevant on there. So now what I'm going to do is I have my leg here, and I'm going to measure where I would like, where I assume a knee-length skirt would sit. Okay, so although I've got my leg bent, you know, you have to sort of, it would be good if you got a friend to help you so that you could get it whilst you're standing still. So I'm then going to write a line there, and I'm going to write knee length. So, and that's good information to know, because between the knee length and this skirt, the red line, the first skirt, if I was going to do a knee length skirt, I would need either a split up to this line, or I would need to gather cloth to get a, so I'd be able to walk, really. So then I have another line down to knee length. Now, so that's what would be comfortable on a knee length skirt, and then I can get a friend to help me and do a full length skirt, so I can then transfer that information on here. Okay, so this is 3/4 length actually, it's to the top of my little slippers. So then I can write that information there. So I have all the information I need to do. I can then use my roll of baking parchment, and then I can adjust the information. Now, it's all very well me saying I write everything down without a hem allowance. That is just me. Some people do write everything with a hem allowance. It's just some fabrics I need more of a hem, and some of them I don't need that much information. So, okay, on the same piece of paper, I am going to do a quick jeans one. Now, okay, so what I've got here is a pair of jeans. I am going to take the leg seam so that I can then measure around to the widest point of a pair of jeans, which will be the inside leg. And now, okay, this will all become clear to you. So, these are stretch jeans. Again, I'm still quite short and I'm still quite round, but the points are still going to be the same. So if I use a different coloured marker and do the points from the point of the waist, so this is the button, and a point from, which I suppose is the top of the legs, then I have, and I've used the fold of the jeans on that seam, then I have two bits of information that I need. Now, because my jeans are, like every pair of jeans nowadays, they're slightly stretched, so I then need to know that my measurement for my waist and my hips are going to be adequate. So then again, we've got no seam allowance. This is because I'm going to transfer that information when I've done it. So I am then going to, if you have another coloured pen, write that information down on there. Now, I suppose it's like sleeves, isn't it? Trousers, I love making trousers. I make trousers all day actually. But obviously they are a bit more difficult. I hope I did that off screen. So now I need the measurement between the top of my leg so that I can join it together to form the standard knee, standard trousers position. So if I go to here, then I know that this would be for a non-stretch but tight pair of trousers. So I could then follow the curve of the jeans round so that we've got the point where it would meet at the hips, and then we need to know what what sort of the circle of your legs, so that then we're going into fourfold. Are we? Yes, we are. So it needs to be at least that, because this is doubled on the fold. Alright, now there's no way I'm going to make myself a pair of skinny trousers, but this mark is relevant so that I know how much I can come in. So I can just do that line. Now, if I was to make a pair of pyjamas out of this, then I have all the information I need, because I would be putting the seam in the middle of the measurements. Okay, but if I was going to be making a pair of trousers, like a suit jacket trousers, then I would have to have more material on my derriere than I would on my belly. So I can then, when I'm cutting it out onto my paper, adjust this so that the front of my trousers, if I took off an inch of, I'm lining it up to the corners, so because I know that this is my waist and this is my fold of my legging, of my legs, I would have to take an inch off the front, and any amount that I took off the front I would then have to put on the back, and then I could draw. I'm doing it by eye, it's entirely up to you how you do it. You could just adjust the paper and trace it through like that. So I would now have 3 lines. This would be the front of my trousers, and this would give me a bit more room at the back of my trousers. Okay, now I will come back to trouser blocking, and I don't want to bore you by going through every time I make a skirt or I make a pair of trousers how I made the blocking, but there's so much more information that I would be using rather than the shape. This is, you know, if you regard these shapes as very simple fabrics to sew, maybe fabrics with a bit of give in it so that I could move around. But this is enough information for me, for now, as it were. And I will be using them, and I will refer back to them. Okay, well, I hope that makes sense. Yes, so I now have everything I need to know on this piece of paper, and hopefully it's been some help to you. Alright, thank you for watching, and hope to catch you again.